Malawi is one of the small countries in sub-Saharan Africa. It has the population of almost 13 point something million people. Yeah, most of the people are poor people. The GDP is not as much, it's about $200 something per annum. And most people depends on farming, and that farming is for local farming, that is subsistence farming. But it's the country that is, I'm not sure how I can explain that, but it's a country that is coming up in terms of growing. The past 5 years or so, we have seen our GDP growing up to over 7% per annum. Malawi depends largely on the development assistance from different partners we have. Our budget, I would say, the development budget is almost 80% financed by the development partners, but they're also financing the budget support right now, which is growing to almost 30 to 35%. In which case, we depend largely to our development partners' will to help us with some assistance in terms of education, in terms of provision of health services, improving agriculture, improving our roads. In most of the sectors in Malawi, the development partners are playing a very big role. And we must confess and we must appreciate the assistance that we normally get. Paris Declaration is very relevant in Malawi. I've stayed in the aid management from 2001, and the way we used to do it is not the way we are doing it now. Today, we looked at our development assistance. Then we looked at our development partners as the donors, but PD has changed that perception. We are doing things in partnership. There's more collaboration, more talking, more understanding each other. Actually, we take our development partners because they support the programs that we have. Of course, we are not yet there where we would want to be, but we think the PD has helped us streamline the way we conduct our business in terms of aid delivery and in terms of looking forward how we achieve the development results that we are looking forward to. The PD came up with some principles and some of the things that we agreed. Unfortunately, some of the development partners are not forthcoming to deliver on those agreed principles. For instance, very few are willing to use our use of country systems. And by not them using our country systems, that is weakening us, because then we are not owning those programs. We believe it would help very much if development partners looked at using country systems. We know our country systems are not that perfect, but the moment they start using our country systems, for instance, I'll give you an example of the health sector, where the development partners started using the common pool where they were putting resources together. Government had the incentive to strengthen those, of course, with the support of the development partners. And where the development partners have indicated that they are going to use our country systems, obviously, government has to be concerned to say we'll be using some resources. And even the accountability that they are concerned about, we are also concerned that we need to address those issues to our people. We need our parliaments to look at those resources. And just to point out that according to what I've seen generally, where development partners have used the apparel structures and where they have used together the systems that the government is using, you'll find that normally, for instance, I'll give the example of using the auditing institutions. Normally, there are government institution auditors who have been able to detect some fraud. It's very rare to detect it using the external auditors because they don't know what happens normally in government. But the government auditors normally know what happens behind the documentations that is given. They are able to probe further to see what actually happened. And that should force our development partners to start using our country systems because they will help us strengthen the systems. And in any case, when we look at the principles of the Paris Declaration, they may not be looking for aid way of management alone, but even our own internal resources, we need to have the objective what we want to use or what we want to do any kind of work that we would want to see. And any government that is responsible has to look to its way, how it's accountable to its people, how transparent it is, so that people appreciate what is happening in the system.